Welcome to the Railway Series Book Club, the podcast where we dissect the Railway series. I'm Jamie.
I'm Marina.
I'm Liv.
And we hope you enjoy the show. My friends, we are gathered here today to eulogize the passing of a hero. They did so much for us in such a short time, and we will truly be worse off without them. I'm of course talking about our good, dear friend, Thomas H.D. Classics.
Truly.
Fucking Thomas fandom, up your piracy game. Like, fucking you make a channel called Thomas HD Classics with every single episode on it, and not expect it to get nuked. Like, come on, we should be better about this by now. Like, Thomas fandom culture has been built around piracy since like the hit model era, at least.
Well, see, I think part of the problem is just that the powers that be are not willing to actually provide a service that is better than the pirates.
Oh, yeah,
like,
no.
The most we have is stuff that is either, like, region-locked or worse. Like, piracy is 100% a service problem, so fucking, this won't be the end of the world. We'll just have to go back to fucking RSGCA MA like cavemen.
Where did it take you? Back to me. Also, I, like, genuinely, like, I'm not defending Mattel. It's a stupid decision. I've had times where I want to watch an episode and they're just literally, because I live in the US, and we stopped getting DVDs, so there legitimately just isn't a fucking, like, way to watch it. And it's like, I doubt, like, this is like Mattel's trying to make everyone forget the classic series. They're trying to sabotage the fan base! It's like, no, it's a really blatant copyright violation. It's a miracle it was up for over a year. Like, name another show with a active distributor and everything that has that, like, something like that on YouTube.
DuckTales.
No, with, like, not in, like, parts and shit. Because when we watched a DuckTales episode on YouTube, it was, like, 22-minute parts that, like, would overlap each other and shit. So it's, like, I'm not saying, like, that, like, I'm not defending Mattel, they're fucking stupid. But it's, like, also, we need to up our game. We gotta get a tougher fucking underground Thomas episode market. Fight the system.
Now, I totally agree.
Where the fuck did you come from?
Where do you think?
Oh fuck. Our Andrews escaped the Thomas vault again.
Yeah, they totally didn't get out last time. They were in the vault the whole time.
We are very good at what we do here at the Railway Series Book Club.
In hindsight, we probably should have assumed something was up, considering that the door's on fire.
I mean...
The underwear's on fire! I'm on fire!
Did I do that?
Welcome to the Railway Series Book Club, I guess. The podcast...
Welcome.
Where we apparently don't have good security.
Well, the security is alright. It's just not built for me.
Oh.
I'm much too powerful.
I am Jamie, pronoun she, her. I am the hostess with the mostest. Yeah, and everyone else introduce yourselves too.
I'm Marina, your local TV series bitch. Liv, this is where you go.
You need to do pronouns, too.
Oh, she, her.
Yeah. We're just gonna there's just gonna be a yawning chasm of silence every time.
I got distracted. I was listening to the song from the end of K-On! The movie again.
Why are you listening to that instead of recording the podcast?
I am recording! I had it on in the background because I have ADHD. and have problems focusing on, like, one thing at once.
I have brainworms too, and I'm managing just fine, thank you very much. I'm sure
Yeah,
that's
I
a
mean-
fair comparison.
I am showing, like, ungodly amounts of self-restraint right now by not, like, playing, I don't know, fucking Trapdoor by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard on my computer right now as we record.
And I'm Liv. I'm British.
Liv, you didn't say your pronouns.
Those are my pronouns. British. No, I'm Liv. I'm the British one. She, her.
And here's our intruder.
I'm Andrew. I'm the intruder sus.
When
One
Andrew
time,
is sus. Wait, no, fuck, when the Chairlord is sus.
When you're sus. Sus, you say anything past, you're sus.
one time a couple years ago, almost, I really could not focus on writing an essay for one of my college courses, so I watched James and the Express in Japanese while I tried to work on it. It didn't help, but I appreciated the gesture on my own part. I go by they, them.
Great. Okay, now we can leave this bit.
Wait, can
today-
Great
can I
job,
say one
guys.
more thing on the topic, please? We can edit this out, but I just
No.
want to say...
Okay, fine, but I'll edit it out.
Basically, Andrew, what you said reminded me of this one time where I was trying to, like, study, I couldn't focus, I was like, I need something on as background music, so I put on one of the Sailor Moon musicals, and then realized the problem with it being in Japanese with subtitles as background noise, and then it was, like, midnight, and I had just spent, like, an hour watching it instead of getting any studying done.
Well, what's good about nobody having translated the Japanese script for Thomas yet is that there are no subtitles naturally. So, but I do just end up watching it and going, okay, all right, yeah, no, I can vaguely sort of ascertain from the words what they're saying, and this lines up just about right with the original. Okay, all right.
I really do
Oh.
hope someone decides to English sub the Thomas Japanese episodes. Like, there'd be no reason to do
Yeah.
it. There's already an English version. I just think it'd be fun.
We gotta watch.
I
Gotta
wanna
watch it
learn-
in its original intended language.
Fucking dubs are free. Just watch the original Japanese version.
None of this English dub tat.
You
Fucking
know,
why have they got two of them?
you could say that this whole podcast is us reading the manga, like, culture.
Yes.
Yes.
The show is just read the manga. We're like the fucking we're like the fucking JoJo fans who keep telling you to read Steel Ball Run, except in this case, Steel
Yeah.
Ball Run is like very old engines.
Yeah.
It just works.
It sure
reminds
does.
me of when Stardust Crusaders, the anime of that was still airing, and there were people who were literally posting spoilers online of shit that was like weeks away from happening in the show, and be like, "Yeah, read the manga, you bitches, aho," which was not fun. One of the things I enjoyed least about 2015.
God, imagine if there was, like, you know, a brand new, like, you know, cinematic retelling of the Railway series, like, you know, coming out today and people were doing that, like, although, I mean, I guess it wouldn't really be the same, because these are, like, storybooks and not, like, you know, a cinematic manga.
Yeah, it's not like, oh yeah, fucking, Edward gets, like, a hole punched straight through him, you know. But, like, he lives anyway because he's just that powerful, but, like, they think he's dead for, like, a few chapters, but then they go, wait, hold on,
Well,
what's Edward doing here?
I mean, isn't that what happens in Edward's Exploit?
No, then he punches a hole through himself.
See, no, this is the thing.
That's how powerful he is.
Edward wasn't actually in any real danger in that story. He just wanted to prove to everyone that he was powerful. So it's essentially his equivalent of only using 50% of his power.
He fucking nerfed himself.
I think we're stalling.
I think we are.
Okay, let's do the story. Do we want to do the fucking foreword?
Have we?
Yes,
we haven't
we-
even said
I'm-
what book we're doing.
Yeah, we've just been fucking talking. I'm probably gonna have to edit a lot of this out.
Yeah. So let's just.
Today we're starting our coverage on Tank Engine Thomas Again, which, as a kid, I always thought was titled Thomas the Tank Engine Again, because the words didn't compute in that order to my brain.
Yeah. Mine neither. To be
Honestly,
fair.
they could have just called it Thomas the Branch Line Engine, and that kind of would have worked better.
But he's not a branch line engine. He's a tank engine. Come on, that's his official title.
They could have called it what it is in that one illustration where it says all about Thomas the famous tank engine.
Ah.
Oh wait, spoilers.
Well, that'd be a bootstrap paradox, because it's, that'd be advertising that book inside that book. But, since one of the illustrations canon anyway.
Yeah, Benry.
Fuck you, he's
Benry's
canon in our
my
hearts.
I don't think there's any cool behind-the-scenes stories about this book. I think the inspiration behind it was either one of two things. The first of which being, either Audrey got a lot of requests for more Thomas, so he decided to do more Thomas, or Audrey got requests to write more books, and he was like, I do not want to handle the main line again. It sucked last time. I'm doing Thomas again. I'm not sure which is the right one, but you know what? Whatever.
Either
It
of them
doesn't matter.
track pun intended.
Audrey's just like that one person on Twitter that's like, I love all my OCs, and I love Thomas even more than all of them.
Yeah.
Fucking talk your ear off about Gordon. Did you see the interview clip of him with Terry Wogan? He just like hardly actually answers the questions he's given and just tells the fucking box tunnel story, and it's like, well, let me fucking tell you something about Gordon.
Yeah. It's like Gordon, Edward, and Thomas are like, I mean, I guess also Henry, but Audrey didn't actually like Henry, so I mean...
Yeah. Especially not the detestable man Dalby.
We're stalling again.
We are.
This book is very good. I think it's in my top 2 or 3, because this is a very good book. That said, the first story is like... I feel like the first story in this book is kind of mid. Like, it's good. I like it. But we're also gonna have to talk about things. And it absolutely pales in comparison to the rest of the book, which is just ecstatic. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I don't know. I really quite like Thomas in the Garden. I was very excited going into this. Something I made clear. I think just after we started recording today, and then the conversation shifted to reboot stuff, and my mood got killed completely. But
it's very strange happenings over here at the Railway Series Book Club.
It wasn't even the first time my mood would get killed, because then I realized, oh wait, we're gonna have to talk about things this story. Oh dear.
Well, before we talk about things, let's read the foreword first.
Yes, please.
And for the record, I'm reading this book, and I'm not sharing because it's mine and you can't have it. Dear friends, here is news from Thomas's branch line. It is clearly no ordinary line, and life on it is far from dull. Thomas asks me to say that if you are ever in the region, you must be sure to visit him and travel on his line. They will have never seen anything like it, he says proudly. I know I haven't. The author.
I like that Thomas is his friend.
Yeah.
What?
I like that even this early it's established that, like, Wilbert is friends with the engines within the universe of the stories.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like that, even
it's-
though he's constantly publishing all of their dirty laundry.
That's how
my
you know
favorite-
he's
my-
a true friend.
My absolute favorite foreword in the entire series is Tramway Engines, because it's just Thomas
Oh,
begging
definitely.
him to write a book about them, and then Audrey's just like, Oh, so I can write about the time that Percy scared the shit out of you. No, don't put that one in!
No, not that one! Does it anyway.
Also, like,
Well,
that's why I
the
stopped.
fact that Mainline Engines is only called Mainline Engines still to spite Bill and Ben.
Yeah, that's a pretty good forward too.
I like how all of the Western Engine is only called that because the publishers didn't like Little Western Engines, and it's actually really good setup for Oliver's sort of ego throughout the book.
Yeah.
That's quite good.
Yeah.
Man, I think this is a very sweet little forward blurb.
It really is. Like, I feel like it sets the scene perfectly.
Yeah. I do think it is interesting to note, though, that since this point they haven't established that this railway is on an island, they just call it the region.
Yeah, that's really cool too. Like, it was only like
Holy
that's one of the
shit,
cool
yeah,
behind
they
the
haven't.
scenes. That's one of the cool behind the scenes things about this book is that this book is when Audrey really started like mapping out the what would eventually become the island of Sodor, because it just started with him wanting to map out the branch line to make sure the race at the end of the book would make sense, and that really got him interested into developing out the setting. So this is a very important book for lore reasons too. Okay, we're gonna start the book now.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yoshi.
Hurrah!
Thomas the Tank Engine is very proud of his branch line. He thinks it is the most important part of the whole railway. He has 2 coaches. They are old and need new paint, but he loves them very much. He calls them Annie and Clarabelle. Annie can only take passengers, but Clarabelle can take passengers, luggage, and the guard. As they run backwards and forwards along the line, Thomas sings them little songs, and Annie and Clarabelle sing too.
So,
Alright.
I just want to say, the first thing that jumps out to me with this is, it says that he calls them Annie and Clarabelle, which implies that
Yeah.
Thomas named them.
Yeah, that's strange, I think.
I think it's
Uh,
kind of cute, though.
We know
It's
in the
like-
books the coaches aren't people.
God, we're gonna have to talk about that.
Sorry.
Prepare for gender!
We can save that
Do
till
we
the
want to
next
just
page.
get this out of the way? Do we want to talk about all the gender stuff right away? Just to get it off our chests?
Sure, but can I mention Thomas being confirmed as being push-pull fitted?
Yes, that's
First.
very good.
Yeah.
He pushes and pulls them along the line.
Yeah. He's fitted with push-pull gear. That's why it says as they run backwards and forwards along the line.
Yeah.
I actually know what that means. It means he can run sideways.
Correct!
Yes!
We'll
at
make a
this
railway-
rate, you're gonna ace the test.
Yeah. There will be a quiz at the end of this podcast.
God, what if for the fucking last episode, at least before Chris's books or something, we just did a thing where I have to try and answer railway related questions.
See, I just came up with the idea of a segment at the end of every episode where we just ask you a railway question and you just have to try and figure it out with absolutely no prompting.
Define slacking cock flange.
What? It sounds like a genital disorder.
I'm pretty sure that's real.
That is a genuine component on engines.
I mean, I'd be up for that bit if you want to do it at the end of this episode.
Okay, but first, can we talk about the sexism?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, so, we've been alluding to this in the past few episodes about, all the coaches being women, and now this is the first time that, there's been named coaches in the series, and they're both women. Every other named coach we see in the Railway series is also a woman, and there's only, 2 other women there's only, 2 women who are engines in the Railway series, and one of them's a motorized coach. And, God, I'm pretty sure it's in Tom's the Tank Engine Man where Audrey says, his idea of the coaches is that they're, the dedicated wives to the engines, which is not great.
I think it was dutiful. It was
Dutiful. Yeah, that's probably the word. Yeah.
Duty.
I don't think this should be a controversial statement to say, but I don't think that's a good take. It is.
Yeah.
It's not great. Like my whole take on the whole, like, Thomas transgender conundrum is that, like, I mean, I don't feel like what's presented in the stories is actively harmful per se. Like, there aren't any stories where Thomas, like, goes up to a woman and is like, you can't be an engine because you're a woman. Like, when Daisy and Mavis make mistakes, it's because they're like, it's because of their actual character flaws and not because they're women. But then you see, like, every single, like, but then there's only 2 women who are engines, and then all the coaches are women, and it's just like, it's not a great look, not good on it.
Thankfully, there's not a scene where Thomas goes up to Mavis and says, "Hello, Mavis, you belong in the kitchen."
Hey,
Yeah.
Percy, did you know season 12 is better than women?
Oh,
Well, let's keep ourselves from wandering further into that thread of discussion.
Right,
Need I
okay.
say more?
Yeah.
so, like, it's not surprising to me that, like, this happened just because, like, like, I don't think it's a very controversial statement to say that Audrey was a bit sexist, because we live in a inherently sexist society. Literally everyone in our society is sexist, be it internalized or externalized. Like, we all need to... It's all a thing that we have to, like, grow beyond at some point.
Yeah.
Like, even for women.
I thought
Like,
you were going to say we live in a society. And
I did
like,
so
I know
did
the
I.
point. Like, it was serious.
And I
but
was-
that's why I laughed. I wasn't laughing at what you were saying. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
With all of this, like, the coach thing is pretty yikes, and I think it is definitely made worse by the fact that there's 2 female engines and 3 total female, like, vehicle characters, because Caroline exists, and, like...
Yeah.
Well, there's also Pip and Emma, but they don't have characters.
Yeah,
so.
I'm
Chris is
just
canon.
talking about the Audrey books, and
Yeah,
like,
of course.
honestly, with them, it's like I couldn't even, like, find anything to say about them, because I don't even know any personality traits they have, but...
I mean, I think it's cool that, like, at the very end of the series, the apex predator on the railway is 2 women who work together.
yeah.
I think that's cool.
And that actually,
But they're very bland.
that kind of ties into something that, like, I have in mind with all of this, is because it's, like, the fact that the 3 female, like, characters, again, discounting Pip and Emma and coaches, are ones that fit things you would find very... Like, they fit stereotypes, essentially, which makes the fact that them specifically are the only characters he chose to make female kinda...
Yeah.
Like, Daisy is... I mean, the fucking model series team wanted to give her hooker buffers. Like, she's...
Okay,
like,
so
she's...
In defense of Daisy, I feel like most of the baggage she's given is squarely on David Mitton, because, like, she's like nowhere near... Like, David Mitton sexualized Daisy, totally.
No,
like,
here's the thing. I think it's definitely, like, worse in the TV series, and, like, that doesn't apply to, like, the books, but, like, I do think she is very much supposed to be, like, the stereotypical, like, ooh, snooty, like, oh, I can't get my, like, clothes dirty kind of girl, and the fact that she was specifically the first character he chose to make female, and then, like, Mavis is... Like, I think she's a fun character.
Mavis wears skirts.
Honestly, I wasn't even thinking of that. I was mainly thinking of... Like,
God.
She's very much supposed to be, like, the rebellious, like, teenage girl stereotype. And, like, that's a fun character. Like, she... Especially, like, she plays off of Toby really well, but then, like, it is a kind of thing of, like... She's the only one, and especially when she was added literally when Audrey was almost entirely out of ideas, because he said the reason he didn't make really useful engines, which was supposed to be his 27th book, was because he didn't have enough ideas for it. So, like I like Mavis. I like her stories a lot. And, like, I know she had a model that existed for a really long time, but, like, also it's literally scraping the bottom of the well of what he had.
Essentially what you're saying is, like, you really like Mavis as a character, but you don't like what she kind of represents.
Yeah, and again, the fact that she's the only one, and, like, Caroline, like, is probably, like, the least of these, but you could also see her as, like, the, like, oh, like, weak old woman who's like, I can't even, like, I don't want to even move, like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. I feel like I kind of disagree on, like, disagreeing with what Mavis stands for, because, like, again, Audrey definitely, like, had a level of sexism writing the Railway series, just because, like, you know, everyone does. But I feel like just by looking at Audrey's later life, I feel like Mavis is, like, one of the things that kind of would point towards Audrey growing out of sexism. Because, like, you know, Mavis is the final character he created, and she gives me the kind of vibes of, like, a second-generation Thomas, because she has the same kind of, like, you know, spark and, like, energy, if you will. And, you know, she has a very similar conflict of wanting to, like, you know, explore the outside world. And then you have stuff like in the Island of Sodor book, he penned the Sigrid Saga, which is like Sodor's own Joan of Arc, and named an engine in the lore that doesn't exist in any of the books after her. Which, you know, I think that's really cool. You know, he but, like, you know, like, it doesn't change what he's written, any of this, but, like, you know,
I don't think, like, he's, like, actively, like, a horrible sexist, like, woman-hating person, but it is also, like, I feel like if there was just, like, any fucking random character besides, like, these three that was, like, a woman, like, in the series, like, if, like, fucking anyone from, like, Boko to fucking Rex to, like, one
Oliver,
of the mountain engines, Oliver, literally
just, like,
anybody.
any one of, yeah.
And it's like, it's like,
it's
a
indicative
gender
of his
version of
mindset.
heteronormativity, if that makes sense. It
Yeah.
feels like to me
And,
that
like,
there's this idea that that a character being male is the default. And, like, that's something the series has moved away from, thankfully. And
yeah,
that's something I think they should keep at. And that's why it's, like, as, like, again, there's nothing wrong with acknowledging what hasn't aged as well, I guess.
Absolutely.
yeah. This is, to me, strikes me as the thing that aged the worst. You know,
Yeah.
because, like, just look at it.
Even the TV series, like, later in the Brenner era, which, like, took a lot of steps, like, to addressing a lot of the, like, common things brought up in, like, not, like, those articles, which, like, I'm not saying I agree with, but it's, like, there are things that when you kind of look at the series are kind of, like, yeah, you could see that as kind of yikes, like, the whole, like, oh,
Yeah.
the fat controller is, like, just a dictator, like, for the engines, and it's, like, they make sure to show that, like, no, he's a person that cares about them, and then, like, the female coaches thing, it's, like, there's a lot of engines with various personalities that are, like, female, and then they even start bringing
Marion
in
has honestly
male.
become one of my favorite Thomas characters.
Marion
Yeah.
is so good.
Yeah,
I love Marion.
and you get, like, the range from, like, Marion to Rebecca
Millie.
to Frankie, or, like,
Yeah.
To
you go-
Daisy, I would
Yeah.
argue Daisy is a better Brenner series character than a
no,
Railway
yeah, no.
series character, if only because
Davy
she's
Moore.
present.
Davy Moore wrote Daisy infinitely better than anyone preceding him had ever done.
Yeah.
Davy
Even
Moore
the
is
Rev.
the
And the
goat.
Rev is the one who came up with the highly sprung pun to begin with.
And I
Yeah,
think,
he just fucking took Daisy and ran, and I am forever grateful to him.
yeah.
He ran to like fucking Mount Vesuvius and back, and like
Yeah.
I think
it was
Mother.
like, hey, mother, yes.
I can't believe Davy Moore solved sexism.
also
I
like
can't believe Davy Moore created Daisy.
honestly though, like Davy Moore's like Daisy stuff like kinda is like exactly my point with like the comparison to her in the Railway series, because it's like
It's
she works
genuinely
so much
brilliant.
better when she's just a character among others. Like she's
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
essentially the norm rather than like an exception, and like I think that works really well.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like her sort of beginning arc where it's just, well, I say her beginning arc, her only arc, where it's like,
Yeah.
oh yes,
Yeah, no, I like those
Yes,
too.
but you won't need Thomas's bumpy old coaches today. I'll be taking you. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, like, I mean,
Yeah, no, I like
I'm
her stories
considering
too.
we are kind of dunking on Railway Series Daisy, but, like, I still really like Railway Series Daisy. Like, those stories are
Yeah.
good. It's
They're-
just, you know, she's like the
still
kind of
genuinely
character that's, like, you know, she's kind of one of those characters that's, like, objectively bad representation, but still really, like, fun.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
A bit-
that's the thing.
sort
Is
of
she's
a-
a good character, and the stories are
guilty-
good. Like, there's nothing wrong with her alone in the Railway series. It's more just that there was nothing else, I guess.
Yeah,
I
it's just sort of like when you take...
I just thought of a way to summarize it. There's nothing wrong with Daisy on her own. It's the fact that she is on her own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
You know
like,
what? Yeah.
With the another thing, like, the other problem with, like, you know, the coaches just being women is kind of, like, highlighted in this story, where, like, you know, I feel like there are some stories that do it a lot better when it comes to this, like, Four Little Engines comes to mind, but, like,
Oh, yeah.
because, like, you know, 98% of the women in the Railway series are coaches, they don't really have a lot of agency. And we'll see that
Yeah.
especially in this story. So that's gonna be fun.
I think arguably Agnes, Ruth, Lucy, Jemima, and Beatrice have like the most agency out of any of the
I
coaches.
love
Oh,
them.
definitely. That's why
I
I singled them
love-
out.
No, they
'cause they're
do.
great.
They are they are a unit of girl bosses.
Yes!
And I adore them.
I really
I
wish they
also-
made it into the TV series, because
Same here.
I would love to see stories about them in the same vein as, like, how the Brenner era made Annie and Clarabelle so much better.
They
yes.
made the-
Oh my god,
There's
yes.
some of my favorite characters just outright because of the Brenner era.
Yeah,
I-
like,
Yeah,
no,
Brenner's
I
been
fuck-
writing
like-
Annie and Clarabelle a long time, because he made so many stories about them for his Marvel Comics tenure, writing the
Yeah,
Thomas
yeah.
magazines.
Me and Mari were
Fucking,
talking about this yesterday, but one of my favorite moments, like, in any of the specials is the, like, you left us in the middle of nowhere. We were at Marin.
in the middle of
nowhere!
Also, like, they outright say in that scene, like, we're not, like, your coaches, we're our own coaches, and it's like...
Yes!
Yeah.
Girl,
It's
like,
like,
Yeah! Yes!
The Brenner era, like, pretty much... Like, there's flaws, but, like, the Brenner era and, like, Big World is way more flawed, but, like, even that, like, there were, like, active steps to, like, address a lot of the issues. Because, like, even...
yeah.
Like, for all of the, like, I don't even know the names coaches, it's like they introduced a few male ones. Like, there was the slip coach,
Yeah,
there was
the slip coach.
Dexter, there was that one Chinese
fuck, I
coach who
forgot
for
about
some
Dexter.
reason I thought, like, their names were Allie and Anne, but then I know that's not right, because that's the two filler alien villains
Yeah.
from Sailor Moon.
Yeah. They're literally
Yeah.
Ale and Ann.
You know, I think they might have had a female truck in Journey Beyond Sodor too.
Might have done.
Yeah,
I
I don't
just-
know. It's been
I-
a
I
while
just-
since I watched Big World the movie, but I do just real quick want to like give my own input on the female characters thing.
Yeah, go for it.
Really is more just I not so much just I wouldn't call it counterpoints, but just general shit. I don't know. I do feel like Mavis is a little bit of a rebellious teenage girl, because that's sort of something that was starting to come to rise around like '72 when the
Yeah.
book was published, and I feel like in Caroline's case, I really just feel like she's just the personification of a shitty old car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, she was
Yeah.
definitely the biggest stretch. It's like she's probably the one where it's like she just is a character that like it could have been male or female. She's just a shitty car.
Honestly, I mean, either way, I fucking love Caroline.
Oh, no,
I think she's
same.
great.
I think everybody knows that I have a very strong affiliation for Stephanie the Bluebell Engine, and
Yeah.
I absolutely adore Caroline. She is so much fun, and she's... I really love... One of my favorite scenes in the entire show was just the shot where it's like a panning shot of the camera going down. It's just Caroline going through all the curves. Just, I shouldn't be treated like this.
Yeah.
And it's the way Angelus narrates it too.
Yeah.
Because, like, he gives it such a strong rhythm. Like she clattered along at twice the usual speed. And, like, oh yeah. You really feel it in the moment. It's really good. Great stuff.
Like anyone who knows me, and like we'll even probably talk about this later in this this story alone, but like I'm not one of those like a big fan of the epic clapback moments, but like honestly I really like the scene of Caroline and George in fucking
Yeah, it's
Call
great.
yourself
like,
a car, you're
Lady
a
Hunt's birthday
disgrace to the
party.
road.
Yeah, it's
Find
just
yourself a scrapyard.
for George it fits so well, and you're just like, oh, like when he says it, like, she's just like
Okay,
genuinely
my
pissed
fa-
off. It's great.
I prefer the, like, what about me? I'll send for help. Stay there.
Yeah,
That's all I can. Yeah, that too.
Yeah, no, I was literally just gonna say that, like, for me, it's the end of the scene when the Fat Controller's like, wait here, I'll shed for help. That's all I can do.
And the thing is, he never did.
Yeah. And that's part of the joke.
Like, he got to the party and he just started talking to his wife. He never called anyone for Caroline.
Just 2 days later, oh shit. Not forgetting something.
She's just still there, like it snowed somehow.
Butch drove by her like twice.
Sorry, Caroline. I only work on commission.
It's a tough life.
My final thought on the whole gender thing is I think it is very, like... I'm pretty sure the reason that most of, like, the locomotives are men is because Audrey based them on, like, you know, the people he would see on the footplate, which I guess was mostly men, even though that's not strictly historically accurate, because plenty of women worked on railways, especially on the footplate.
I think the railways were actually one of the first industries to really start embracing female workers.
Yeah.
Especially during the war.
Cool.
Especially,
Both wars.
yeah. But, like, I think it is very, like, you know, it is very strange to think about how, like, you know, masculine is the default when it comes to a lot of, you know, Thomas characters and fan characters, despite the fact that, like, in real life, like every machine, engines are typically referred to by she, her, by crews. And, you know, it's probably because of sexist reasons, but, like, I still like it, because women...
Honestly, it's like
women are very
Sapphic thought.
yeah, it's like with that, it's like machine being referred to as like him is the exception, like more than anything.
Yeah, I think they only
see-
do that in, like, Russia.
See, this is the
So
thing.
Rusty from BattleBots is.
This is the thing. I've actually got right here a secret piece of Audrey's notes, and it says all of the male engines on Sodor are trans. This is canon.
Yeah,
Valid.
Sodor is just, like, you know, an island commune for transmasc kings.
And Daisy and Mavis and everyone else are still welcome there because they're chill.
Daisy's
Yeah.
the
They're
trans
allies.
girl that came in and just like fucking owns it.
Yeah.
yeah
Solidarity.
and then Polly, also being trans femme, fumbles into the island and everyone's
Nice.
just like, yo.
Yo.
Is Polly trans femme? I didn't actually know that.
Yeah.
Dope. I support that.
I don't know where to, like, confirm it, but I mean, you know, dear listeners, you've heard it here first, folks. Like, that's just...
Polly
I
confirmed
just think it'd be-
transgender.
This is
What?
This is
You're
dumb.
transgender?
This is dumb, and
That's
only
so
Jamie will
cool.
know what I'm talking about. But this conversation just made me think of the Trans Love Live song, so I just have that on now.
Oh, fuck yeah.
You're non-binary, as in you don't have any binary.
That's so cool.
No,
I
no,
love
the quote is like, non-binary.
You're non-binary? That's so cool.
Okay, I think we're,
I think we've
have we
gone
said all we
pretty
need to
well.
say about the gender?
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
we've done
Pretty much.
well.
Jenner is a fuck. And
You know,
don't
Yeah,
fuck
just mean
Caitlyn Jenner. She's a piece
Gender
of
is a-
shit.
Yeah, hey,
Gender is-
yeah, ooh.
Gender is fake. Gender is even more fake on trains because there's no, like, there's no dangly bits to even judge gender from. Gender for trains is literally meaningless.
You clearly
As much
haven't
as
read
the
Night at the
cock flames-
Steamworks.
As much as the slack and cock flange may deceive some, trains have no gender.
Yeah.
At least the way I see it. It's, like, the way I've always seen it really is, it's just sort of more down to how they like to present themselves than anything
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
What
It's
if
just
it's
how
like,
gender in real life is, or
what
should
if it's
be.
like
Exactly.
what if it's like when an engine is first built and they first come out of the works, they're agender, and then they like kind of feel it out over time, and they're like, okay, yeah, I think this is how I want to be.
I would like to believe that.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
And then Diesel is the only exception. Diesel came out of the workshops as Diesel.
Yeah.
You're just like,
I am
God,
Diesel.
isn't it-
I am perfect.
I was chaotic from birth.
God has allowed me to live on this earth, and I'm going to make it everybody else's problem.
CG... I like to think CGI Diesel is just fucking chaotic neutral incarnate.
Yeah. He's just
I-
bastard.
chaotic bastard.
Okay. You think that's all for that
Right.
page?
Yeah.
When Thomas starts from a station, he sings, "Oh, come along, we're rather late. Oh, come along, we're rather late." And the coaches sing, "We're coming along, we're coming along." They don't mind what Thomas says to them, because they know he is trying to please the fat controller. And they know, too, that if Thomas is cross, he is not cross with them. He is cross with the engines on the main line who have made him late.
I like this illustration.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's a really
love
nice
these first two
illustration.
illustrations. They're cute. I also
Oh.
really like Thomas, Annie, and Clarabelle's, like, friendship, even if it's not as goated as it is in the Brenner era. I do
Yeah.
just like that they're friends and sing songs together. It's endearing.
It's, they're very fun. It's all really charming. They're like, oh yeah, no, like, dude, we know that like when you're angry, it's not something to do with us.
Yeah, Thomas is like,
Yeah,
no,
badass
you're
ending.
perfect. You two are perfect. These engines on the main line, though, they're fucking cucks.
You two are perfect. Fuck you, Henry.
I just love the idea that Thomas is in his shed as Farquaad, and it's just like, are you okay, Thomas? We haven't upset you, have we? Oh no, you two are absolutely fine. I just really fucking hate Henry.
Fucking Henry, though, Christ!
And then Henry's at Titmuff, and he just like, I feel like someone is being very unkind to me.
He sneezes, because a Japanese thing is like when someone badmouths you behind the back, you sneeze.
That's
I
what
thought-
happened
I
with
thought it
someone
was just
sneezes.
I-
This is the thing. Henry isn't the one who initiated the sneeze. They just asked Thomas to say something shitty about Henry at a specified time.
Yeah, there's like a whole like 8 layers of like Keikaku build up there with the sneeze. Like,
I just remembered something very
God,
important
you-
that I probably should have talked about in the behind the scenes section. So like,
yeah.
this is the, around this time was when Audrey started to get back into like, modeling Thomas's branch line, which used a lot of elements from an old Quarry branch line that Audrey and his brother George Audrey wanted to make, which was like Faraway Quarry. Also, potentially may have been called Farker back then.
Now it's Farquhar. I don't give a shit.
No, it is not.
Nope, it's always been Farker.
You live in Britain. You should be
the-
used to place names sounding like shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
why the... You know, I've never questioned it. I've never questioned because I've always been quite sympathetic towards the British, except when they're assholes. But, like,
So always.
why the fuck is it spelled like Derby when it's Darby?
You have no legs to stand on, Liv. Face it.
Well, as an English,
Face it, or you're Farkered.
as an English, I have the authority here, and I say that it is Farquhar because I live in modern England, so I know how things are pronounced now, and Farquhar sounds far more appropriate.
Yeah, but Farquhar is not from the...
Yeah, but it's not the
Farquhar's
creator's
from the
intention.
olden times. Like,
Yeah,
maybe
well-
it was called Farquhar once in its life, but as the vowels have shifted, it is now Farquhar. This is how
You're
place
all
names have
wrong.
been
It's
butchered.
clearly fucker. Okay,
Okay, as I will say,
Well,
because
even that's
of,
wrong. It's Fafakukar.
I will say because of Bar, I always called it Farquhar.
I think in Japanese version of Ba, I'm pretty sure they pronounce it as Faka, which is like one, with like the way I tried to like look up and anglicize it was like one extension sound away from being like the Japanese way of saying fucker.
But you know what?
My favorite station
Farker
is
canon
Fucker.
in the Japanese dub.
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
That's how we
just-
know it's right. It's in the anime.
Just
It's in the original intended language. So checkmate atheists.
Jamie, Andrew.
I forgot I was gonna say. I forgot the point of what I was gonna say. We got distracted by Farker.
I need to say very quickly.
Yeah.
Jamie and Andrew, I respect you in every sense of the word. You two are some wonderful friends, and I really enjoy having you in my life. You are great, and you're really talented, and I have a lot of fun spending time with you. Fuck you! It's not Farker!
okay. So enough about fucker. Can
Sorry.
No, I didn't
Sorry,
get
that's
to
not
say
bad.
the thing I wanted to say.
I'll say it.
The,
Sorry.
the point.
On the fuck. They made a coach for the branch line, which may or may not have been built and may or may not be called Farker. It was named Annie. So Annie is the oldest Railway Series character because she existed as a model in like the 1910s or whatever.
I think Annie was built in 1922, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So,
You'd ask
how
which
how
one.
old is Annie now? She's nearly 100.
Yeah, 99. If 21 is to be believed, or if 22, whatever. Numbers are fake.
Bitchin'.
Yeah, man, I'm looking at my player all Percy right now, and there's like nothing on his cap.
Can I give a really random thing that's kind of
Sure.
related to the last page, but we got sidetracked with sexism. But that's a sentence. But someone in the comments asked me to bring up a thing, and it's that the first illustration in this book is used as a poster in Thomas and the Toy Shop, because when
It is.
I had completely forgotten that, but in the shot where Thomas and Henry are looking at the toy shop, and you see in the window one of the posters is this image, and it's cute. And then
Yeah.
there's also a really old looking Toys for Tots one, which is cute.
See, my favorite thing like that is just the fact that Erdl Percy is in that one episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
flower, I
Yeah.
think.
It is flower power. That got me so excited as
Yeah.
a kid. And now
R.I.P. Erdl.
the entire opening bit of flower power gets me excited for two reasons. One is the Earl Percy, the other is HT1.
Yeah.
Because it's literally in the shot of James passing the castle at night with oil tankers. You can see the fucking imperfection in the plastic on the front end. That you could also see in Thomas Percy the dragon.
Okay.
But anyway,
Very
anyway.
quickly, Andrew, genuine thing. What are you going to do if Thomas Tankmud gets a hold of one of the hench tankers?
Wasn't one of them in fucking Drayton Manor?
Yes, the second one is at Drayton, I'm pretty sure. Like, it's the milk tanker that Daisy's pulling, which is very unfortunate because it's very badly glued back together.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
That's a shame. Oh well. Not much I can do about it, really. So.
But HT1 is still HT1 is still MIA, right?
Perhaps. I've got a couple theories. It's either still in storage at Hit or it's at Hara.
Hmm. Well, I suppose you'll have to just go to Hara and like sneak backstage there. Whenever the cool props guys go to make their next replica, and just look through all the tankers to see if any of them are hench.
Well, you see, the thing about that really is that like I thought I've made this clear in the threads before, but after Magic Road they had their wheel set bases readjusted, so they were more like normal tankers, which makes them hard to spot. But I heard that I think it actually was from one of the Thomas Tank Merch guys that the oil tanker that's at Hara supposedly has tar lettering under it. So there's a chance that could be HT1, or if not that, the other Tara tanker you see in Trust Thomas. And I mean, you know, whichever one of the two it is, it would just confirm in a roundabout way both theories I have, one way or another. So it would just be a double-ended win for me. In the most obtuse way possible. But enough about fucking props. Fucking book.
Yeah, let's keep reading. One day, they had to wait for Henry's train. It was late. Thomas was getting crosser and crosser. How can I run my line properly if Henry is always late? He doesn't realize the Fat Controller depends on me. And he whistled impatiently. At last, Henry came. Where have you been, lazy bones? Asked Thomas crossly. Oh dear, my system is out of order. No one understands my case. You don't know what I suffer, moaned Henry. Rubbish, said Thomas. You're too fat. You need exercise.
Alright.
Okay,
I got you at Henry and I win.
The suffer hit so hard because I live in New Jersey. I fucking heard people talk like that. Oh my god.
I just want Sir Topham Hatt to be proud of me.
I will say,
I just want to be a real gabagool.
If what Thomas is accurate and Henry is fat, then him being American Henry is pretty accurate.
True. It's on what you probably think it is. So the "You're Too Fat" line that was changed in the US one. For some reason, I thought more of this scene was changed, but it's literally just fat to slow, which I don't like. There's people that have like complained about it and stuff, and it's like, oh, it's too mean, but it's like, fucking Thomas says you're too slow. Like, objectively, that makes it the better version.
Oh,
Like,
Thomas,
why do
attention.
people complain about that? It's fucking funny.
Yeah, I don't know why people just prefer the version with the worst script, really. Like, I mean, that's just me being the one who, like, grew up with the worst script. But, like, I just, come on.
As an English, I'm definitely partial to the fat, because I just think that's fucking hilarious, because Thomas is an asshole.
I also think it's fucking hilarious.
You know, it's funny. I just fucking shitty something.
Depending on what... I mean, that could be do you think it might be a jab at the way Dolby draws trains, or is that too early for Audrey to be jabbing at that universe?
I think it is too early.
Yeah, because I think
however,
this book is what pissed him off.
In the vein of really Henry and illustrations, this is perfect Henry. What we have right here illustrated in front of our eye holes to experience with them, and thusly our brains to, like, sort of take hold of and savor like a fine pastry is perfect, Henry.
I'm really glad he's recovered his stolen life from Benry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Benry is
Although,
gone.
unfortunately-
He has been...
Benry's
he's been
dead.
hurled...
Henry killed him.
Unfortunately,
Well,
though,
no, Edward just hurled him into the loop line dimensional rift.
Oh, of course.
Unfortunately, in the scuffle, while Benry was temporarily stealing Henry's life, he did steal his buffers. So,
Now-
so Henry's good friend Gordon, who was very happy to have his good friend Henry back, of course, gave his friend Henry some of his special square buffers to use until they could get Henry some of his own buffers.
Yes.
Now you say this, and you know this tracks perfectly well, but in Reginald Payne's illustrations for Thomas the Tank Engine, you can very clearly see Henry, equipped with his finest gear, the copper cap chimney, and as my dear friend Stuart named them, the buffers.
Yeah, we
No,
pointed
you
that
see-
out in those episodes because I'm a devout believer in Copper Cap Henry, and I'm very sad this is his last appearance. But
Yes.
I don't know. I don't like the square buffers on him. It's like
You
I
see,
feel
It
like
looks too much like
I-
Gordon.
in an ideal world, Gordon would have the square buffers and no copper cap, but Henry would have a copper cap and circular buffers, so that way you'd be able to, like, you know, you'd see the two identical blue engines, but then notice the, like, you know, the
There's
minute
little- You
could
differences.
tell them
Be like,
apart.
oh, that one's
Yes,
Henry
yes.
and that one's Gordon.
you
But
see,
if
now,
Henry
this is
has
thing.
the square buffers, that looks way too much like Gordon. Because
Now, this
he's
is the
basically just
thing.
Gordon
I mean,
with a
yes.
copper cap.
I figured it
Whereas,
out.
you know,
Yes.
if they had different buffers between them, it'd be
Now-
a little bit more clear.
Now, I think you make an excellent case, that I would very willingly agree with, but at the same time, I just think kids are too stupid to be able to tell the difference between Gordon and Henry.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, now I figured it out.
Henry here, right, sorry, but before we get into that, Henry also has, something very interesting that you hardly ever, if at all, see on real engines, which is a boiler which is at an angle.
Yeah.
Barely, I guess.
Huh.
Kind
Well,
of, he
you
kind of
see,
looks like a
it's-
Shay here with the way his boiler is positioned on his frames.
It is also it's like at an angle. It's like what's the word? Is
Tapered?
It's not, no. Tapering is something completely different. I mean like
Superheated?
goddamn. No. It's a term for a line that is not straight. It's like yeah.
Convex? Concave? Stupid?
Stupid? No, not
Oh god, I'm just staring at this
What the-
illustration and noticing in the
Ugh.
scan that there's like a little like weird coloring shading on Thomas's tanks that kind of makes it like if you squinted you could believe he has like the fucking footstep from Wubba on his tank.
Oh god. I don't know if that thing is better or worse than a Westinghouse pump because it's less intrusive than a Westinghouse pump, but a Westinghouse pump would have been way funnier.
It's also the E2s didn't even have steps on the tanks because there's no reason for there to be steps on the tanks. I
Yeah,
think.
they serve no purpose. The crews have other ways of getting up.
Yeah, the tank isn't so high that they aren't able to like get up there. I think.
I just want to say, I have figured out Henry's buffers. I have learned the truth. You see, in Thomas the Tank Engine, in Thomas's train, that wasn't Henry. That was already Benry. He'd already made his move. But you see,
Oh no.
you see, Benry is also from the LNER, so he also had square buffers. So he was in the process of assimilating into Henry's life, he hadn't gotten rid of Henry yet. He was in the process of making everyone assume he was Henry, and he hadn't been able to get a hold of Henry's circular buffers.
The kinning
So-
wasn't complete.
Perpendicular. Henry's boiler is at a perpendicular angle. It is physically slanted. It is not straightforward like on any other steam engine. It is rotated just slightly outwards to the right.
Yeah, he looks like a
I'm
fucking Shay.
I am going to remember Andrew practically screaming the word perpendicular, completely unprompted with no context for the rest of my life.
Fair.
Perpendicular!
Why don't you get it? Then Andrew, fucking,
Why don't you understand the nonsense I'm babbling about lines? Damn you all!
And then Andrew, just flings everything off at their desk and flips the table.
Ah! And I have a heart attack or something. I don't fucking know.
Just goes out screaming and rips off their fucking shirts, screaming, perpendicular!
Kensho type beat.
One thing about this page that's kind of a random thing, but this isn't even me just projecting their Brenner era CGI personalities onto the Railway series, but I feel like Annie Clarabelle would have told Thomas to shut up a bit with this, because they get on him for being rude to Gordon and down the line, and even if Henry was late, I feel like they still would be what the fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, I think just
even the show Annie's a bit cross. Oh dear. Maybe this is just me playing into the bit, but I don't know. I think Annie and Clarabelle probably just hate Henry.
I wouldn't blame him. He's kind of shit.
Yeah, I mean, he is Henry.
These words will later be
been...
recontextualized, as well as his other, sickness incident. These will later be contextualized as to being, a larger problem. But, as far as we know right now, looking at, the fucking shit-eating grin on his face, he could just be making it up. That could be the intention at this point in time.
Holy
yeah,
shit,
and
you're right.
I guess even the TV series, it was done in, hindsight. So, they knew him being sick was something that would come up, so they portrayed it like that. I didn't think about. He could have just been bullshitting.
Here, Henry just kind of looks like, oh no, my system's out of order. I can't help it. Whereas in the TV series, he's just a fucking dying
know what
duck.
I suffered.
Dun, 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 dun.
And I mean, even then, I'm pretty sure either way, fucking Johnny Morris just gives him the.
Oh yeah, he sounds like he's fucking dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly wish Johnny Morris had done the entire Railway series, if only just because I think it'd be funny, just for him to keep the same voices throughout the entire thing, the same.
Yeah, I'm
voices.
just looking forward to Enterprising Engines, where he goes, everyone got on well with Flying Scotsman except Henry. Henry was jealous. Dinners are marks of distinction, he complained. Everybody knows that. Now why has he got two then,
See, I think Johnny Morris is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I also just really like Willie Rushton as a narrator.
Willie
Willie
is
Rushton
so
is
good.
fucking brilliant. He is absolutely my favorite.
When does
Tenders
I
are
love
a
Johnny
mark of
Morris'
distinction.
goofy voices.
Everyone knows that.
Oh,
Why's he got two?
why'd you got two? Why'd you got two?
when does Rustin take over?
Rushton
think-
takes over around Edward the Blue Engine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's right after or in Edward the Blue Engine. I think
Yeah.
Okay.
Edward the Blue Engine they might have both done.
Yeah, I think they both did Edward the Blue Engine, but
I think
it's
they
just sort of
both did Blue
exclusively-
Engine and Four Little Engines. I'm not sure.
Maybe Johnny Morris did Four Little Engines. I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
But probably. It wouldn't surprise me.
Good bit
yeah,
of
I mean, I think it's just awfully convenient, really, for Luke that when he was working on Mid-Sodor Mysteries, all of the evidence of references to Sir Handel and Peter Sam's old line was just all stories that Willie Rushton narrated.
Yeah,
I think that's beautifully convenient for consistency's sake.
definitely.
I just love the idea that
it
like
makes everything flow
everything's Willie Rushton, and then right in the middle is just fucking Johnny Morris just having a fucking mental breakdown, just screaming about shit. That's basically all he does in most of his fucking narration. Okay, I kind of wish that at least one time the TV series would acknowledge fucking not like Johnny Morris's fucking truck noises.
See what I really wish. I only barely skimmed the narration for the story, but like, I don't think Johnny Morris did the coach noises for Annie and Clarabelle because they were proper characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Disappointing.
Hey, fair enough. But, yeah, fair enough. He does just sort of treat them like proper characters, and thumbs up, perhaps?
Yeah?
He did more than Audrey did. Anyway.
Anyway, next page. Lots of people with piles of luggage got out of Henry's train, and they all climbed into Annie and Clarabelle. Thomas had to wait till they were ready. At last, the guard blew his whistle, and Thomas started at once. The guard turned around to jump into his van, tripped over an old lady's umbrella, and fell flat on his face. By the time he had picked himself up, Thomas and Annie and Clarabelle were steaming out of the station.
I
L.
kind of love the fact that the only reason he missed the train was because he just fucking ate shit.
Yeah, that's funny.
Fucking dumbass.
This was the prequel to the fucking season 21's funny fat man falling compilation gag.
Oh yeah, what a great episode. They
See,
brought back Luggy the bus.
No, just in general, they do that all the time in season 21. Just because, like, they wanted to do more humor, but then, like, they just kind of settled on just doing that a bunch of times and playing Eye of the Tiger.
So something interesting about this illustration, other than the guard eating shit, is that there's advertisements here for the Railway Series books that are currently out. So, you know, there's advertisement for Thomas the Tank Engine and James the Red Engine, which is, you know, that's a little cool environmental story thing. Like, you know, a cute little nod to the other books. But it does raise the question that since, you know, in the timeline, this is supposed to be in, like, you know, the 20s, like, maybe a year or so, maybe at the same time as, like, you know, James's, you know, book. The Real Railway Series books were published in the 40s. Is this a time-traveling book saleswoman here?
Yes.
Actually, you know, although, then again...
She's Edward's driver, so he gave her the power.
Then
she's actually a pre-Hartnell doctor.
Ah, I see. Okay. Well, then again, you know, since when are any of these illustrations canon, am I right?
The last one is. That's Henry.
Yeah, you're right.
with his perpendicular boiler.
Point taken. But, you know, I do think, you know, regardless of how, you know, in hindsight this might be an anachronism or whatever, I think it is really cool. Like, this is a really cool, like, little visual nod to the other books, and does establish in-universe the books are a thing in-universe well before 8 Famous Engines makes it, like, explicitly clear that, you know, the books exist within the series.
Oh god, I forgot that was the premise.
Clouds.
Eh?
I said I forgot. I always forget that the premise of, like, 8 Famous Engines in the Railway series is that like they go to England to prove that they're real, which
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that better or less than just a kid writing to Sodar like, hey, I want you all to come to my house.
But there aren't any railway tracks near there, so good luck with that one. Well, so we've been
they just
And then Thomas at the meeting just says, "Well, sir, I visited someone's house before. I can probably do it again."
Oh, no, you fucking won't,
Just
Thomas. Alright, so
everyone.
this 5-year-old here has offered us a challenge, and that's one we're going to take up. So, we're all going to the mainland to visit a big shed, which is like a house, but...
You
Well,
sound like
for
it's like a house,
You
but
live
for
in
the
one.
choo-choo train.
you sound exactly like DVD menu fat controller, and I love it so much.
Windows G, enable. Sacrifice your firstborn and press the Thomas button immediately for extra V-Bucks.
Jamie, Andrew, have you two ever been on the official website and just done the gay engines, gay
My
home
gay
videos,
activities.
gay activities?
Oh, absolutely.
Gay
George and I've had a
parents.
long-running in-joke about that. Like, my gay engines.
Is there an archive of the old website?
My
or...
suspicious money laundering schemes. I don't know, actually.
I know for a while you could get on older ones. Like, I remember exploring, like, the fucking Magic Railroad version of the website once.
Yeah, I mean, I literally live streamed myself speedrunning all of the games on the 2006 website. Back when Flash was still a thing, God rest its soul.
Oh
God rest
yeah,
its soul.
fuck. That might be the biggest problem at this point.
Yeah,
Ow.
but I mean, I don't know if the website was still using Flash by that point. So it's a gamble. It's a gamble. It's a real big gamble. Honestly, might still be a thing now. I don't know if the website's changed really for 2021, but considering how long it took them to even put up proper images of Donald and Douglas, I'd wager it hasn't.
Wait, did they finally do that, or?
Yeah, they did.
Wasn't there like an updated version
Like
of
a
the
couple
website for
months
like
ago.
a week that then disappeared and just hasn't come back?
I
don't know,
remember
but
we
I know-
talked
I
about
do
it
know
in an
that they-
episode, the new version of the website, and then, like, I didn't know it disappeared.
I went on the
I don't know if
website
this
the other
either,
day
like-
and it's like I didn't see any of the new stuff.
It's just
I
back
just
to
remember
normal.
them using an image of someone's like trains model for
Yeah,
Big Mickey.
that got removed pretty quickly.
that was fucking hilarious.
They
that
just-
was
They stole a description from the wiki.
yeah.
You know that was like some fucking
That-
intern that just wanted to be done
That-
for the weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, that poor intern. I respect the hustle. I respect the hustle. You did what you could, friend.
Do we have
What do you
anything else
think
more
of
to
the
say about this
piracy on the
page?
Thomas website, Rainey? Me too.
Oh, it's rainy.
She is good. She just sat down next to me.
What else do we have to say about the guard eating shit?
I don't
Fucking
have
loser.
anything.
Clarabelle is bogging.
See, if you're pogging, it has to be like an open mouth, but there's got to be like some kind of hint of like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, there's
Like,
gotta
you
be
don't
joy
pog
for it
when,
to be a
like-
pog.
Like, she... Like, if it was fucking, Jeremiah Jobling falling down, she'd pog.
If
She'd be
anything,
like, "Yo!"
this moment is decidedly unpoggers.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Thomas, we've left the guard behind. This isn't very poggers at all.
This is not remotely PogChamp.
Come along, puffed Thomas. But Clarabelle didn't want to come. I've lost my nice guard! I've lost my nice guard! She sobbed. Annie tried to tell Thomas. We haven't a guard! We haven't a guard! But he was hurrying and wouldn't listen. Oh, come along, he puffed impatiently. Annie and Clarabelle tried to put on their brakes, but they couldn't without the guard. Where is our guard? Where is our guard? They cried. Thomas didn't stop till they came to a signal.
Okay, so first thing I want to say here. Why can the trucks put their own brakes on, but the coaches can't?
Because
That's
they're passive
quite-
women and don't have any agency, which
you know,
is
that
like
is,
that's
nothing like the explanation I was about to give. But
oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
yeah. No, I was just gonna say that like it's mainly because all of the trucks are sort of like. Okay, let me
They're
reset
like
my brain
falling
real quick.
apart
Okay,
and troublesome.
Yeah, like, okay, part of what makes the trucks troublesome in the first place is just the fact that they are old and generally are not fitted with continuous brakes. So like that's really why that's why like they get out of control so easily, because like, you know, the guard can't just go like it can't like be in the van and be like, okay, well let me apply the vacuum brake, or the driver in the cab be like, yes, let me apply the brake for the entire train right here in the convenience of James's cab. No, that's why they're like, you know, generally very rough, compared to coaches, which, you know, are required by law to be fitted with continuous brakes, because if not, you know, that'd be breaking the law. I don't think I've explained it very well, but
No,
that
I
pretty
get
much
it.
is the bare essence of what makes the troublesome trucks troublesome from a railway standpoint, since it is just sort of like how Caroline is the personification of a shitty car. The troublesome trucks are basically the personifications of like unreliable old wagons,
Yeah.
who are unfitted and just generally very hard to handle.
Yeah. It's like we've
going
said
down hills.
before. They're stacks of timber held together with glue and hope.
Yep. Yep.
Hey, wagon
Fuck,
moment.
what was the...
God, now I'm gonna have to add
What's
the
the
H.
controller
I'm gonna have to
says?
add H in here again. God damn it.
Bad for discipline.
Okay, so in Don's version of this story, he adapted this story, but it's called Thomas, Annie, and Clarabelle, and it's like actually about like the kind of the dynamic of Thomas and the two of them forming, and what happens in that is they're like, you left the guard behind. He's like, nice, and he's just ignoring them, so they just say fuck you and then force him to stop, and like, it's amazing, and I love it. And read that story. It's good. I
Okay.
really like it.
Now I'm
Don's
just
a great
imagining
writer.
Thomas. Now I'm just imagining Thomas with his wheels spinning at maximum speed, just inching along very slowly, and Annie and Clarabelle just being like, Thomas, stop, Thomas.
When
Also-
you have the fucking wheel slip set to max in trains or whatever.
That's the thing you can do now with the new scripts. Oh my god.
I like...
Oh man, speaking of shilling, I completely forgot at the beginning of the episode to shill for our Discord server that we have an open last episode. Hey guys, if you want to talk to us and suggest things and ask us questions with regards to the podcast, come join our Discord server. It's very cool.
Yeah,
Where all the cool kids are.
yeah.
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 Chilling over. Did you have anything else you were gonna say, Marty, before I interrupted?
No, that was my main point. Just read Don's stuff. He's good, and
Okay.
So
You
very
should.
quickly,
Yeah,
I want
like-
to point out that apparently the guard can keep pace with a train.
oh yeah, that's something I
Yeah,
can
this
actually.
guard's fucking booking it.
That's something I can actually bring up, because Ulti like mentioned this for me to bring up, but this is based on a real incident, and apparently in the actual incident, the guard was like, the train was stopped at a station and the guard took a taxi to catch back up to it, but here the guard just fucking runs. The people on Sodar are just as weird as the engine.
I honestly like the actual event. I think that's really fucking funny.
Yeah,
Just
that
like,
is really funny.
he just starts running along the sleepers, and go like, oh wait, no, there's probably another train too. Ugh, fucking hell, fuck's sake, goes up to like the whichever like I don't know, the
Birdie bus.
Road access from the railway station summons the taxi.
Goes, I need you to take me to the next railway station. Well, aren't you a god? Like, go.
See, I just love the idea of, like, Clarabelle's just looking down the line as she just sees a very out-of-breath man just running.
Yeah.
Thomas, fucking stop! He looks like he's gonna drop dead down there.
I just really love this illustration, honestly. It's just
I was just
it's
gonna
so
comment
good.
on
Like
Clarabelle's
the
fucking
cow,
sheer horror.
like the guard just fucking sprinting along, the weird ass perspective, and the fucking kid sitting on the fence being, "Hey, look at this dumbass."
Hey,
He's
check
holding
this
up
shit
the
out.
flag the whole time. He's just
Check this shit out, fucking Marjorie. This dude's like booking it.
yeah. It's delightful.
I will say, I think Dolby has improved significantly since James the Red Engine.
Yeah, this book is definitely a lot better. I think. At this point, he
That's nice.
re-illustrated the previous book by now, maybe.
I think
not
he
previous
didn't.
book. The fucking the first two books.
I think he didn't, because that was 1953.
Oh, I could have sworn the wiki said 1950 for Thomas Tank Engine. And like 1949 for the other one. Maybe it was like 50 and 50. I don't know.
I don't know, but like, I mean, yeah, it would make sense. It would make sense if he illustrated this before re-illustrating Thomas the Tank Engine because of Perfect Henry.
Yeah.
Just his existence. You know, this would have been before, you know, he re-illustrated Thomas the Tank Engine and brought on the unfortunate phenomenon that is buffer erasure.
Yeah.
Saying Perfect Henry just keeps making me think of fucking Perfect Cell, but it's Henry.
You know.
Yeah.
You know what?
See, I
hardly ever interact with the Dragon Balls, but that's also what I was thinking when I was saying it. So, I think that's a delightful bit of solidarity.
I was thinking Perfect Chaos.
I really
and
like
then
Cell.
I was
I think.
imagining, like,
Oh my god! What if Benry is just fucking imperfect Cell?
Henry just
He needs to absorb Henry
some
to
more
reach his
people.
perfect form.
Well, you know, I was just gonna send a gif of Perfect Cell balling, but like I also just came across this gif of Vinny just fucking raising eyebrows, and I thought, oh, you know, that actually works quite well with this revelation as well. Wow, oh, that's a twofer for me with gifs. Goodness.
See, I'm just thinking.
I've won.
I was thinking Perfect Chaos, and then I was thinking about like Perfect Chaos, but it just has Henry's face, and you're playing as Thomas. And then it's like, and then Open Your Heart, but it's just sung by Keith Wickham Henry.
Oh, you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Like it landed behind like my desk, so like nothing on my desk got wet, but like the floor, my dresser. My Ertl Diesel a little bit
No!
got wet. I
Deedle!
think my portfolio did. I hope nothing's like.
Oh.
Everything in my portfolio is fine. We good.
Oh, good.
But I need to get a paper towel immediately. So
Good job, Andrew.
Oh, goodness.
Bother that signal, said Thomas. What's the matter? I don't know, said his driver. The guard'll tell us in a minute. They waited and waited, but the guard didn't come. Peep, 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 peep! Where is the guard? Whistled Thomas. We left him behind, oh, sobbed Danny and Clarabelle together. The driver, the fireman, and the passengers looked, and there was the guard running as fast as he could along the line, with his flags in one hand and his whistle in the other. I love this illustration just because Thomas is just like, you know, Thomas is just, sitting here with a smiling face, and it's just like, I am very cross. Fuck you, Signal.
It turns...
This becomes a running thing in the book, really, because he literally does that in the next story.
Yeah.
It turns...
Which I illustrated, actually, once a year.
I feel like this illustration could be used as a meme template, where it's just like... Thomas is just me, and then the guard, my problems coming after me.
No, you see though, this image was actually referenced in the episode A New Friend for Thomas from season 2, where they're talking about how sad Thomas is that Trevor has to leave while he's just smiling widely with the same face he's had on the entire episode.
Thomas whistled gaily.
Luigi? I'd like to add, just for reference, because this is something I remembered I meant to bring up last page, but didn't, and thankfully it still has a place here. So when I was younger, right, and would watch the James Learns a Lesson DVD, I know it... Okay, it wasn't James Learns a Lesson, it was fucking Early Years, which is just the UK version of Series 1. So automatically it's the best DVD release in the US, but...
Exactly.
Anyway, I'm getting too ahead of myself. So, Thomas and the Guard, right? I would watch Thomas and the Guard, and, it would just sound like Ringo was saying, we haven't a god. We haven't a god. I've lost my nice god. And I know, and, like, as a kid, I mean, I was smart enough to know that that's not what he was actually saying, but the thought still permeated my brain nonetheless.
Annie and Clarabelle.
You know
so
my
I
name?
could not hear...
I am your god, of course. Sorry, go on.
So like, I just could barely keep it together when Jamie was reading the last page, because it was just Clarabelle didn't want to come with coupled with... We haven't a god! We haven't a god!
God is dead and
Where is our god? Where is our god?
The murderers of all murderers.
Where is that large automobile?
Thomas looks over at the god. This is God. Cower.
People, vultures, God approaches. And yeah, there he was, running as fast as he could, etc., etc. That's all I've got for this bit. There is no God, etc.
I honestly,
That is not real, and Jesus didn't happen!
My main thing with this page is I just think the illustration's really pretty.
Yeah.
It's a nice one, yeah.
I
like the composition a lot.
Like the cutting and like the little stream and everything.
Yeah.
It's all quite pleasant.
Also, I've been meaning to ask for like a page or two. Is Annie meant to be shorter than Clarabelle?
No.
Here's a question. What do you prefer, short Annie and Clarabelle or long Annie and Clarabelle?
I like them longer because it makes more sense.
Yeah, I like Bogey, Annie, and Clarabelle, but like I feel like as the TV show and the books sort of diverge in the kinds of things they try to do, I feel like what's best for pursuing each style is just sort of to go with what it does, if that makes sense, you know?
See,
yeah, I get that.
Like for TV stuff, you use Four-Wheeler, Annie and Clarabelle, and Rawasu stuff, Bogey, Annie and Clarabelle.
My thing is, I really like the image of Thomas with the two small old coaches, but I also think it's really I also really like long Annie and Clarabelle.
I get that. For me, I honestly kind of prefer just I'm a TV series bitch, so of course, but I don't know. I just think for Thomas on a small branch line that's supposed to be smaller and more I guess less busy and stuff than the main line, and him with two coaches that are also small but still bigger than him is it just looks nice.
See, that's the thing, right? Thomas's branch line is kind of one of the most active and complicated lines on the island with how much shit it has.
A little bit.
Okay.
It is the most important part of the whole railway.
I didn't
Yeah.
know. I just go off the
No, like-
fucking...
It's like, no, like, Mario, your thing is totally fucking valid. Like, the image of Thomas with two small coaches is good, and it's like, I just kind of love the fact that, like, when you think about how much stuff is on Thomas's branch line, Thomas, Percy, Toby, and Daisy should really not realistically be able to handle it.
I guess there's a lot on there, maybe because he's the main character, so they needed a lot for story stuff.
It's like, I think in the books they have, like...
I think it's just because Audrey, like, put too many, like he put a lot of ideas onto it, which just kind of made it very busy, as opposed to, like, you know, I think the, like, you know, the Little Western and the Edwards branch each have, like, you know, their one interesting thing, which would be, like, you know, the clay pits and the ballast terminal. And then, like, you know, Thomas's branch line has, like, the harbor and the station by the river and the lead mine and the quarry. And it's like, there's a lot of things. And it's probably just because it was Audrey's first. And he was, like, really excited to develop all these things.
It's like, God, they have the lead mine, the quarry, the dairy, the factories.
Coal farm.
No.
The harbor.
Yeah, the harbor, like Mrs. Kindly, Terrence's Field, the Hackenbeck Tunnel. Like, I guess the tramway counts, because, like, you know, that's, like, a distinct thing that's only on the Thomas's branch line. And, like...
Yeah, there's so many things.
Bulky, please!
Want to finish this?
Yes, I'm gonna finish, whether you like it or not.
But I do
But
love
Clarabelle didn't want to come.
Jamie Reed.
Read.
Speaking of cum,
Edit
read the
that
next
joke
page.
out.
I have something to say about it.
Okay, everyone shut up so I can focus.
With pleasure.
Everybody cheered him. He was very hot, so he sat down and had a drink and told them all about it. "I'm very sorry, Mr. Guard," said Thomas. "It wasn't your fault, Thomas. It was that old lady's umbrella. Look, the signal is down. Let's make up for lost time." Annie and Clarabelle were so pleased to have their guard again that they sang, "As fast as you like," to Thomas, all the way, and they reached the end of the line quicker than ever before.
So Annie and Clarabelle immediately submit to their man,
Thomas's powerful
to Thomas's will
as
once their man returns.
the big husband.
I mean, honestly, I would argue that the moral of this story is listen to women, because if Thomas had just listened to them, he would have stopped for the guard the first time.
That's
Yeah.
true.
That's
I
the way I'm
hate
gonna
how
spin it.
fucking irreversibly poisoned my brain is, because Jamie read the line, "He was very hot," and I just tried so hard not to fucking lose
same.
it. I had
Honestly, when she read that, I just, like, imagined a man unbelievably buff, not wearing a shirt, but just wearing a tie and, like, a railway guard hat. Just, like,
It's like
sitting
the guard
next
is
to
from
the street.
JoJo.
Oh no, he's hot.
the guard is
Speaking
is a fucking JoJo character.
Speaking of the guard being hot, can I say something about the TV series version of this?
I'm
The
sorry.
prop they use
Oh no.
for the
Don't you
fucking cup reminds me completely of Yonder and Dev's cum
You are-
challenge.
You are, young lady, you are this close from being ejected from the space station.
Oh shit!
okay.
So
Oh my god!
the
Mari
cum-
sus! Sus!
So what you're saying is the cum chalice gets us banned from this Discord server, just like it does Yonder and Dev's Discord server. Do you know what
Anyway.
that is?
Wait,
You know what? Let's just.
If I'm being honest, I looked at it, like, because I hadn't seen Yes in a long time. I saw it, and I was just like, is he drinking cum?
You
two are horrible.
would
Anyway.
like to propose a toast to one
Let's discuss the
Nicholas
practicality of it.
Alexandria for successful totally reading
Yeah.
Andrew, what are you
Warcraft.
trying to say?
Let's discuss the practicality of drinking milk after you've ran the entire length of about between two stations of a railway line.
I mean, they don't say it's milk in the book. I think that's just in the
They
TV
don't say it's milk in
series.
the book. I'm talking exclusively the show. Running all that way and drinking milk from a glass.
How?
Where does the milk come from?
He wasn't drinking milk. I thought we went over this. He was energized immediately by it.
He was very hot, so he had a big fucking swig of his own cum. Okay, yeah, alright.
Who says it was his own?
Good night, everybody.
I will
Good night,
say,
everybody.
I had in my notes like where they're like, "Oh, it wasn't your fault, Thomas." I thought it was because I thought the story was that like he leaves too quickly and like ignores them.
They recontextualize
Yeah, definitely.
it in the TV series to it being that it is his fault.
Which I think works better as
This
a
is old woman
story because it's like kind of how I always took this story was supposed to be, is that it's like like Thomas is starting to get cocky, like because like he's like hot shit with his branch line, and then like the scene with him being a dick to Henry is supposed to be like out of line, and then like this is him
Yeah.
like screwing up and then like getting humbled again, but it's like in the book it's kind of not that, I guess.
I think I can kind of see
Well-
shades of it here. I definitely
Yeah.
think it works better with it, like, I feel like it does work better with, Thomas actually being mean to Henry instead of him just calling him out for being lazy, like it might have been the intention here. And him
Yeah.
leaving the guard behind intentionally, like, I mean, I guess, like,
God
It
says
gives
I
it
don't
more
need him now.
character.
Bitchin'.
I guess, I don't know, I feel like, I feel like Thomas not listening to Annie and Clarabelle might, that could also, like, be indicative of the same thing, even if, like, him leaving the guard behind isn't his fault. I don't know. It's not the end of the
No,
world.
I mean, I don't know. Personally, I think that the Rev must have some sort of vendetta against old women.
What, both the first story of this book and the last?
Yeah.
An old woman, like, causes trouble in
An
some
old woman
way.
an old woman fumbles. You've got
See,
got
the
James
difference-
at the top hat, the old woman who, like, oh god, what's it? She dropped her parcels and 3 porters. The station master and the guard had to pick them up from the void, like an ongoing chain of men behind her. Oh yeah, James scared her or something
See,
as well.
now
but, like,
we
whatever.
established
And,
in that episode that was Dowager Hat.
Did we?
Yeah.
I fucking forgot already.
We did a bit at the end too, where it's like, oh yeah, Topham,
Oh, yeah,
you know,
okay.
your new engine's very interesting. The red one. The red one. Ooh.
And, this is the thing. What if this is also Dowager Hat, and she dropped her umbrella, like, on purpose, so that she could strike back against the railway tyranny?
Yeah,
So
she
what you're
fucking
saying
hates
is
the
that
railway.
she said, "I'm gonna cause problems on purpose."
Yes.
I just want to cause problems on purpose, Topham.
Mother, you worry me sometimes.
I don't have anything else to say about this page.
Yeah,
I think the most I had to say about this page was Oh wait, no. I've got another thing. It's really just like, it's a very, oh hurrah, all is well.
Yeah.
We ride into the sunset once more, my friends. Wait a second, no, fucking Jeremiah Jobling's here.
Wait,
Is
is
he?
he?
Look
Oh my
next to the
fucking
board.
god, that's the same fucking...
Nice.
He's here. He's right here. I'm gonna put a fucking, like, clickbait circle if it'll even, like, register against the red backdrop.
What if he was the
There
railway
he
series
is!
version of the Grumpy Passenger?
Honestly, the grumpy passenger should have just been Jeremiah Jobling. Like, wouldn't that be a
I
throwback?
think that could have been funny.
Yeah.
Well, you see, it's in the episode it's actually Jeremiah Jobling's grandson, Jason. Looks very old for a
Jason
Jason, but
Jobling.
he is nevertheless a Jason. Jason Jobling.
Press X to
That's right, kids. Jeremiah Jobling fucks.
Oh no.
Your dad doesn't just have sex, Maxie.
Your dad fucks, Maxie. There's an Oxford comma there. Anyway. So Thomas and the Guard, that was pretty good.
It was pretty good. I do like how everything's right at the end, and Annie and Clarabelle are really happy now that they finally have the guard back, and you're like, yeah, everything's good. Come on, let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Let's book it to the end of the line.
On a
Come on.
big wild adventure.
So yeah, moral of the story: listen to women. We want to just move straight into rankings.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay. I was originally gonna give the story a Percy, because this is just kind of a fine story, and it is just kind of like it because of the whole complicating matter of gender. God, that's such a funny sentence. Because of that whole thing, it kind of like when I was looking over it for notes, I was kind of like, I don't know if I can justify giving this to Toby, but like reading through the story, just disregarding all that. I think I do like it. It's it's a simple story, gender shit notwithstanding. It's simple and fun. I feel like it's a bit lackluster compared to the other stories in the book, which are very, very good. But I mean, other than that, I feel like I'd be willing to bump my rating up to a Toby.
Okay, yeah.
I
I was gonna give it a Toby as well, really. But I'll explain after Mari gives hers.
Okay.
Okay, I didn't mean to cut you off. You can explain yours
no.
first.
No, it's okay. I'll go last.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna give
go.
I was just gonna give it a Percy because like it's fine. Like ironically the best scene probably is like at the station, which like I'm usually anyone who follows me on Twitter like knows like there's certain scenes that like I like to call like the epic like clap back whatever scenes where like whenever someone is like Thomas is a kid show, they'll post usually either the scrapyard image from Bluebells of England, that really out of character scene with Percy and Toby in Ba, or it's like to a lesser extent I feel like this one gets acknowledged, and it's like it gets to the point where like this is totally a bias thing where like I really don't like especially those first two I mentioned, but like with this it's like it's fine. I still enjoy it. Fucking Thomas saying "You're too slow" is legendary, and like it's good, and I think it serves the purpose of like Thomas is supposed to be in the wrong, and I guess I wish the story kind of expanded on that stuff a bit more and like made it actually more about like Thomas, Annie, and Clarabelle, which is why you should read Don's version, Thomas, Annie, and Clarabelle. But yeah, beyond that, like it's a fine story. I think in the realm of like thing happens to engine stories, like it's one of the better ones. Percy.
Okay, so for me, I'd like to give you a song. You see, north of the island there lives a dear old train. A little tram engine, Toby is his name, and that is my rating. Because, I very similar to Jamie, I was originally going to give it a 6. That's what I was thinking when we came into recording. Because it's like, I really like this story. I think it's a pretty fun one, and it's one I have a lot of nostalgic attachment to, but I was like, maybe it's not as good as I thought it was. Maybe it's just like an okay story. But then we came in, and I had a lot of fun with it, and I feel like it sparked like at least one or two really interesting discussions that we had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Valid.
I'll also.
Hmm?
No, you finish. You finish what you're saying.
so it's Toby. I like it. So Toby, because I like Toby. That's how I judge it, because Toby is the paragon of morality.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a fun story. Nothing amazing, but it's definitely not anything that's bad. And I think it's the kind of story that definitely justifies its existence. And I think the kind of thing that you can read it like basically any time and say that was good. I had fun with that.
Yeah.
It's better than everything
So-
in the last book.
Is that hard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If okay, all right. So here's my justification for giving this story a 7. By the way, it's a 7. For me, this story is like it gives the same vibe as if Is It Tomorrow were longer.
Yeah.
I think like again, sexism notwithstanding, which honestly would did like turn into a very lengthy discussion, and one that I do think needs to happen, and I'm glad that did happen. It's just a really fun story. I was going in thinking like, oh fuck yeah, we're gonna read Thomas of the Guard today, yeah. Oh wait, we're gonna have to discuss gender. And then we discussed gender, and I went, oh fuck yeah, Thomas of the Guard, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Fuck
just how I feel.
Andrew notes gender.
Gender is a concept. Be whatever you want to be. Fight the society.
Jamie, please don't tell the teacher on me that I copied your notes.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. They will come in handy when we have the test.
Yeah, when we have the test at the end of the book.
This is the thing, right?
All right, Mari, it's time for your pop quiz. So,
Oh,
okay,
yes,
you have 10 seconds. You have 10 seconds to give an answer. Okay, you ready? Okay, question.
Yes.
What is a drain cock?
It is a tool used to drain a cock.
No.
No,
You failed this week. I'm sorry.
Okay,
you failed. -2.
So yeah, Thompson the Guard. It's a fine introduction to a very, very, very good book. I'm very excited to get to the next one because it's one of my. I mean, I don't know if I call it one of my all-time favorites, but I definitely think it is one of the most quintessential Thomas stories.
do
Yeah.
you like to relax
It's-
and let the world fly by you?
Yes. I feel like it could easily be argued that Thomas Goes Fishing is objectively the best Thomas story, except for Thomas's Train, which is also objectively the best Thomas story.
Yeah.
I honestly disagree, but it's with ones that are also in this book, so it really doesn't
Fair.
matter that much.
Yeah.
This book's just
Yeah.
good. I'm so happy.
This is I love this book so much.
Let's see who is the quickest, who can be the fastest.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for watching and listening.
Thank you for listening to the Railway Series Book Club, the podcast. That's a podcast. Join our Discord. See us later. Goodbye.